From the champions of England to the champions of Europe, we take on Spanish giants Real Madrid in Charlotte.
North Carolina!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel today for another episode of the Chelsea Countdown, this time for our pre-season game versus Real Madrid. Now, obviously, this is going to be possibly the toughest test of pre-season so far. We know Real Madrid are no joke. They have one hell of a manager with one hell of a team. So this is going to be a very, very big test for us. You're new around here, the Chelsea Countdown is where I will go over my predictions for the game, my lineup, my score predictions, my expectations from manager and players to come to a conclusion of where I think this performance is going to go. Without further ado, I will move into the lineup to start with the goalkeeper, that is Philip Jorgensen. Now, we did not see anything from Philip Jorgensen in the Man City game, which was a massive shame. I don't believe Sanchez was massively at fault for anything in that game. I won't scapegoat him in that aspect, but I do want to see more of Jorgensen. I do believe Jorgensen's future is Chelsea #1, so I like to see more of him to see what he's capable of. So we know what his capabilities are as a goalkeeper. We can see his ball playing ability, his shot stopping ability. Testing him as a shot stopper, I think, is possibly the most key part of this. Admittedly, that's a massive trial by fire putting him up against Real Madrid. But if he can save like a decent number of their shots and even get a clean sheet, that would be a phenomenal performance from Jorgensen if we were able to get that. Now, he will need more help than Sanchez had from his defense in that Man City game. So with that being said, I'm going to go with a defense of Levi Colwill, Tosin Adarabioyo and Reece James, along with Malo Gusto. Now that might come back to bite me in the arse, because that was the backline that started versus Man City, and it didn't look that good. Reece wasn't getting involved in as much as he should have been. Tosin, it was just a massive individual error for that first goal, and I don't think he was particularly on it. Colwill, I didn't think was horrific. Gusto, he wasn't doing what he should have been, which was inverting into the midfield. He was playing on the left wing, which he shouldn't be doing as a right back. You don't play your right back as an advanced left back. It doesn't work. The only reason that I'm saying Gusto does start is because he kind of needs to. We are going to be without Reece James for the first 3 games of the season, so Malo Gusto's going to kind of have to play. There is a possibility we see 3 centre-backs play, so it could be Wesley Fofana, Tosin Adarabioyo and Levi Colwill, alongside obviously Marc Cucurella when we get back to England. So there is a possibility that Gusto doesn't play that, but I think it is more than likely. Considering we've seen his capabilities inverting, it is more than likely we see Gusto playing in this game. So we will wait and find out. Moving into the midfield, probably first name on the team sheet right now, Romeo Lavia, and alongside him, I'm going to say Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, and then ahead of them, Christopher Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku is not a 9. He cannot be playing as a 9. Obviously, at the minute, we have rumours circulating with us potentially signing Samu Omoradian from Atletico Madrid. Obviously, the rumours with Victor Osimhen still circulating. We do need a striker if we are not going to put our faith in Guiu or Jackson to play striker, or if Jackson's going to continue to be unavailable for selection for any extended period of time. We are going to need someone who can play as that striker, but Nkunku cannot play as a striker in this game. We saw how ineffective he was as the striker against Man City. He can't do it this time. He needs to be playing as that deeper number 10, and with Romeo Lavia behind him, like, very few things should be able to get through that. Romeo Lavia, as I said the other day, has been Chelsea's best player this pre-season. He's been revolutionary since he's come back. The fact that we had this guy in just our treatment room for the past year is nothing short of just a complete shame. It was just insane how big of an impact he's made so quickly. Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, I'm gonna be honest, he's like the only available option, really. Enzo Fernandez is not ready for this kind of game, and I don't think, considering what we saw from Caicedo, I don't think he is either. Caicedo especially, because he looked massively rusty when he came back. Enzo maybe, because he's been back playing for a little bit longer now. But Caicedo got thrown in the deep end in that Man City game, so let's not make the same mistake again. If we're going to play Enzo Fernandez, fair enough, do so. But I believe it would benefit us the most to play Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall he's been okay this preseason. We've only really seen him in 2 games, and that was obviously the Club America and the Man City games. Club America game, for that first half, he was really good. His link up with a lot of the players was good, but that was not to be a surprise to anybody. As we know, obviously, he's Maresca's golden boy. He was brilliant for him in the Championship for Leicester, so that was not to anyone's surprise. He wasn't the best in the Man City game, but I'm going to put that down to the fact that Maresca screwed with the system too much, and he was trying to fit in too many things in too many places, and I think Dewsbury was a casualty of that. We can't really do that again, I don't think. So Dewsbury will probably play as that left-sided number 8 this time. That's where he should be playing. As we move into the front line, which is going to consist of Noni Madueke, Raheem Sterling, and Mark Guiu. Noni Madueke and Raheem Sterling 100% need to start this game. They were probably our best players alongside Romeo Lavia in the Man City game. Obviously, they were the ones that got the goals, and Lavia obviously got the assist for Madueke. Madueke got the assist for Sterling as well. So they were our most dangerous players in that game, so they 100% need to play these games. Raheem Sterling, if he continues down this path, is going to start on the left for Chelsea for now. If we don't end up signing another striker, then he will definitely have that left wing spot. If we do, then I think he might end up getting replaced by Nicholas Jackson eventually, but for now he is our starting left winger. Madueke for preseason has mostly been our starting right winger, which is justified. Obviously, I don't believe he's going to be our starting right winger come the opening season of Day of the Prem, because that's Cole Palmer's position. He's looked good recently, Noni. I think he was a bit shaky at the start of preseason. He's looked a lot better recently. I really like that assist for Sterling was with his right foot. That shows me that he has learned that he needs to be working on his right foot work, because Madueke's biggest flaw has always been that his right foot is weak. So seeing him deliver that right-footed cross gives me a lot of hope that he has figured out that weakness and he is now working on it. And then got Mark Guiu up front. We missed a proper target man in that Man City game. Nkunku, brilliant player, not a striker. Mark Guiu is a proper striker. He makes the runs of a striker. He's got the build of a striker, the mind of a striker. He knows where he needs to be. He does need to start putting away some chances. There have been a couple opportunities in the past couple games where he's been getting chances that he should be putting away. There is that. Now, there are certain elements with his chances. Like, I know the one he completely missed versus Man City. Not really his fault. If he shoots that anywhere closer to the goal, it's going to hit the goalkeeper, so I'm not going to blame him too much for that. But he does need to start scoring a couple more goals if he wants to basically allow himself to stay next season. Obviously, with all the rumours surrounding the striker market right now, his position could be under threat if we were to bring in reinforcements in that area. So he really needs to nail himself down. He should be up for this. He's a Catalan. He's from, obviously we bought him from Barcelona. He'll be up for a game against Madrid. He hates them just as much as we do. So it'll be fun to see what he's like against them. We cannot take this game lightly. It's Real Madrid, for crying out loud. So we do need to take this game very seriously. Now, they are without a couple notable admissions. Jude Bellingham is not over in the US. Neither is Kylian Mbappe, from what I'm being led to believe, which is big benefit to us. However, they will still have a lot of their important players. I believe Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo are both over here. There'll be the likes of probably Chelsea old boy Antonio Rudiger is probably still floating around here somewhere. Hendrick's obviously around here, but as we know, he's not had the best start to his Madrid career so far. The one thing, similar to the Man City game, it's not the worst thing if we get beat, because it's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid, it's Carlo Ancelotti. Like, if you're going to lose, you might as well lose to them, because it's very little damage, because it doesn't really speak to your quality, it speaks to their quality, which is fine. If we can win this, provided they put out a strong team, then that looks good on us. Now, it's going to be very interesting to see how we line up and how we play in this game. We flipped the script a bit too much for the Man City game. Maresca, I think, decided to experiment, and I think he did that at the wrong time. He does need to be careful and not make the same mistakes again. There are certain things like throwing Caicedo in the deep end like that was not a smart idea. I don't particularly believe Enzo is fully up to speed yet. I think he probably tried to accommodate too many players, like he put Lavia, Enzo, Caicedo, and Dewsbury Hall on the pitch at the same time. I think he was trying to accommodate all of them, and it didn't really work. Putting Mudryk at right wing didn't really work. Putting Christo at striker didn't work. And telling Gusto to act as an overlapping fullback when he's at left back didn't work, because his left foot cross isn't his strongest attribute. So there was too many experiments, and too many of them went wrong for him to be able to do that again. Now, we were undone in that game by massive individual errors in short spaces of time. Obviously, we conceded, I think, 2 goals inside of a minute in 2 separate instances in the first and second half. We can't let that happen again. We can see 1 goal, fine, but just stay calm, short up, and control and wait until we can get the game under control, then start being adventurous. Don't go nuts. Don't do what we did last time. Just go absolutely nuts. Make a bad pass, concede the second goal in record time, and then we're 2-0 down, and then we're screwed. Because it's Real Madrid. It's going to be very hard to claw a 2-0 lead back. The thing he needs to do, this is when we need to see the starting core of his 11. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about this, if Jorgensen does not start, I think that tells me pretty much that Maresca has made his choice that Sanchez is going to be the number 1, which I don't agree with. Jorgensen, I think, has the highest ceiling as a goalkeeper, personally. So I think he does need, at the very least, an appearance. If Sanchez wants to come off the bench, or Maresca wants to bring him off the bench, fair enough. That's fine. Do that in the second half, but start Jorgensen. That's very important. We need to start seeing the elements of Maresca's starting 11 here, or this is just going to get very hectic very soon. It's looking very likely, like, I would imagine Reece James is obviously going to be part of the starting 11, but as we know, he's suspended for the first 3 games, so that's not possible. Tosin is looking like it's very likely he'll be in the starting 11, as is Levi Colwill. Lavia is looking very likely he'll get himself on the starting 11. Obviously, we know Christopher Nkunku is going to be in the starting 11. The rest of it is a bit up in the air. Obviously, we're being led to believe that once we go back to the UK, Cole Palmer and Marc Cucurella are getting in the starting 11, justifiably so. So there is that. But he does need to start pinning down some members that are definitely going to be in this team so we can have a consistent 11. The one thing that has ruined a lot of managers in the past couple of years is they've not had a consistently available 11. Mainly because of injuries, but then they've also just made random changes at random times unnecessarily. So, but we need to have a consistent 11. We've gone the entire preseason without injuries so far, which is good, apart from the ones we had before preseason. So obviously, Disasi's hernia surgery and Jackson's ankle injury, which is fine. But he does need to start nailing down his first 11, so we know what we're going into in the first game of the season. As for a score prediction, I will say 2-2. Now, that's probably very, very optimistic. It's Real Madrid, as I said. But, I don't know. I'm optimistic. Why not? 2-2. I think that's a fair result. We get that. I can say we'd probably be pretty happy with that result. As I say, it's Real Madrid. You take what you can get against Real Madrid, even in pre-season. We need it to be a strong performance, ideally, so we can have a little bit of confidence restored to us. And it would be better if we could get a good performance against a good team. The problem was with Man City, it was a bunch of academy kids, and it wasn't the greatest. Well, okay, the performance itself wasn't bad. The result was terrible, though. So, if we can get a decent result against a decent team, I think pretty much everybody can walk away with that saying they're pretty happy. So, with that being said, I will sign off there. I am the Crimson Wolf, the reddest Chelsea fan on the internet. We hope for a good result. We hope for a good performance. So, with that being said, I will see you all later, and I will see you for the next one. So good luck with it.